resources to the workplace. And the truth about it is this, okay? Some of them are unique. That it could be education, it could be just finances, it could be family responsibilities, and the list goes on and on. But the most important thing that I want you to understand, that I want you to know is when it comes to the workplace and when it comes to work ethics, especially the privilege of being able to have someone to mentor, to guide you, to lead you in the right perspective, to truly and indeed become, a very, like ethically driven, a very disciplined, being able to stay focused, all of those come exclusively with what we call exposure. So whether you belong to the first category or maybe you belong to the second category, it doesn't really matter. What matters the most is this, okay? That the ability for you to be able to take assessment of your strengths and weaknesses, to be able to tell very clearly, identifying resources and recognizing exactly what you need, that's where the secret lies. Because you see, there's no one, let me say it again, there's no one that I ever know or come across that all of a sudden just blew it apart, just like that, without necessarily having someone to guide them. Could be a mentor, could be someone to lead them. But the truth about it is this, okay? The more you know, the more you can help other people, and create a well informed community. And the more money, by the way, you're going to end up making. By the way, I would love for you guys, to like, and share this video so that it can literally make a mark as we continue on the journey of personal development and growth. So, with more than 80 valuable skills that is presented by different people, different authors, I picked very hand-picked, like very, very good ones for you to kind of meditate about that can help you to grow either in career or in business. It will help you tremendously. I call some of those things like a micro knowledge, that will help you to make sure you get things done for real. So let me get into it, okay? We have seen a bunch of online superstars. We've seen a lot of people, who seems to be juggling a million things at once and still nailing it all. They're juggling a bunch of things. Like, how could someone be president? They still run a real estate. They still do this, okay? My mentor running 22 different companies, and also with the family. How is that possible? By the way, Andrew, all of you guys, welcome you guys, okay? I won't let you guys to like everything. I would definitely like to connect with you guys on that. So I want to be thinking about a lot of these things, and guys, this is no joke because how are all these people able to do a lot of these things and at the same time, not only do they do those things, they're also accomplishing, like you have 22 different companies, you're making almost $1 billion, you're doing so well, but you still have time for the kids, you have time for the spouse, you have time for people, like how do you do it? How is that even possible? Okay, even though it may seem very impossible first, making you wonder, like how's it, what in the world? But you will realize this, that a lot of these people that what truly matters to them always gets done. And here's the thing, it's all about priorities and how to establish yours. Everything comes down to one thing, priorities. So, number one is this, write the list. Whether you prefer digital or paper, it doesn't matter, it's totally up to you. Tailor the level of detail to your liking. So, get a pen and a paper and actually like put a list together. So, what should this contain? Okay, you should write down some of the things that you want to accomplish. You write them out down clearly. This is the month of so 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 so. For this month, I want to accomplish this, and this. But you're clear. You write them down. Make sure that your body accepts it, like what you really want, like what you're trying to accomplish. Because again, if your body does not accept what you're going after, you're not going to hit the goal. So I tell people this, if the most you've made in a month is $5,000, don't put that I want to make $50,000 this month. Your brain does not accept it. Your body will not be in alignment. So if you made 5,000, you could say I want to make $10,000. You could stretch it two times. You could stretch it like 0.25. I want to make 7,500. I want to make this and that. Your brain will accept it. You will be in alignment with the things that you want to accomplish. So number two is to determine the order. What I mean by that? You put them by priority. So in other words, Has anyone identified some task at the highest priority level, for example, that you need to accomplish? So you put them in specific order. You rank it by date, which is made by deadline. Okay, when should this project be done? What would be the deadline? Because you want to be sure. Because one thing we know, I forgot the name of the theory for this. It's an expansive theory that says if I give you a project and I say when is it due, I say it's due this weekend, you will get it done. If I give you the same project, you ask me when is it due, it's due at the end of the month, you will do it in a month. If I give you the same exact project and I said, you ask me when, and I say at the end of the year, guess what? You will finish it at the end of the year. So we'll find out is this: the time we assign to a project determines exactly how humans respond to that project. That's the way the brain is wired. So therefore, things need to be deadline according to how you want to experience whatever the change that you're making. Now, third, by motivation. Which task are you motivated to do first? But there's a certain level of motivation that must go with this, because if you're not motivated, you're not going to get it done. Then you go to the next one. Okay, number 4, you ask team members who will be impacted specifically if I accelerate or postpone this project, and who's going to feel it the most? What pain will it feel? Do I want to make sure that I do it, or do I want to pull back? But you want to rank exactly what team members, who exactly is going to be impacted by this. Then you go to the fifth, okay, by impact. So what do I mean by that? Which task can enhance your professional reputation and knowledge while broadening your what? While broadening your connections. Because you want to know, I could do something I'm happy about. It only impacted a few people. Nobody knows anything about it. It doesn't sharpen my profession. It doesn't make me look better. However, I can also do the same project, but this time around, it impacts the rest of the world. And everybody want to know, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Where is this guy located? I want to know more about this. Why? Because of the amount of impact that it makes, if I'm making sense to you. But let's continue. Okay, let's continue. Okay? You also want to measure by importance. Importance in this case, simply, can any task be removed from the workload or delegated? Because you're supposed to focus on what we call high value task. So the higher the task, the value, the better it is for you. You delegate other tasks that are less to other people to do. And of course, but there's something we call the bandwidth, which is the last one. Bandwidth. Bandwidth is when can you dedicate time for this project? How much time do you have? So now you have to determine all of this in the order of priority. Then you go to number 3. Is to seek feedback from the team, the people around you. Let me put it to you this way, guys. Most people don't understand the real needs to be able to get feedback from people around them. Oh my God. Feedback is almost like you have a mirror, another mirror. You can't see your back, but somebody in your back is giving you a very good perspective of how you look. The reason why you need a feedback is because it's a 360. Anything you're doing, you need someone to give you a feedback. It's the shortest way for improvement, it's the best way to get better, the quickest way for you to make money is to get a 360 feedback. It changes your perspective about everything. Think about it this way, okay? If you often let's say if you often find it challenging to keep up with deadlines, or maybe you feel overwhelmed, with something, and it's kind of like, how you could be overwhelmed to the point like you actually paralyzed, you don't even know that, you don't feel like getting up because you're so tired, because you're overwhelmed, because of workload. Don't worry. There are 4 common reasons why people struggle with time management. Let me give you all 4 of them. And if you could conquer these 4, you're good to go. I promise you. You guys, do you realize how much money will come your way if you really just hunker down a little bit and just retool, go back to the lab, make the right adjustments, come out with the right ingredients? You could change everything. 1, having more tasks that you can handle. That you have too much tasks that you can actually handle. And it's true. 2, procrastination. Like I said, procrastination is what? Is the assassination of all destinations. So you're struggling with time management because 1, too much task. 2, procrastinating. 3, taking on tasks beyond your expertise. 4, unrealistic deadlines. I got good news for you. You can fix every single one of them. I want you to think about this. Give yourself 1 or 2 days to think before taking on a new task or opportunities. In other words, it doesn't matter what it is. Pause, give yourself a day or two. Then, in addition to that, instead of pulling all nighters, or I'm going to work all night long till 3 o'clock in the morning, for it's not necessary. Working on projects bit by bit to avoid bottlenecks will give you more results. Because we know one thing: when the brain is tired, you're not that productive anymore. You guys follow me? You're just not. So what you're thinking therefore is you're looking strategically to see how you can be more effective, and especially when the brain is working at optimum capacity. And that's what you want. Also, you got to communicate your workload to other people openly. Like, I got this much workload. Listen, I need help. Don't be one of those people like you feel like you have to touch everything, you have to do everything because you don't trust anybody else to do it. You will lose. You don't want to lose like that. So you want to serve in a position where you are able to delegate some work to other people to do. Some people, because they just want to make the most money, so they want to assign. Don't do that. We'll find out one thing. When you approach money with ease and with free flow, money comes to you. We'll find out when you struggle to get your work done and you're so desperate for money, money runs away from you. Money is like a human being. So could you imagine if you have a human in front of you, if you love a human being, what will happen? The human being will love you back. If you hate a human being, what will happen? The human being will run away from you. That's exactly how money works. So when you approach money with ease, expecting that money can trust you, and that you're confident with it, a large amount of money can come to you and you're okay, more money comes to you. It's when you show desperation, when you show unnecessary hunger, thirst, like overworked and that kind of stuff. Money doesn't hang around you at all. Guys, you may laugh at this stuff, but this is so practical, it's so real, because money is a relationship. And that's the reason why, when it comes to all of this stuff that you have to do, you have to continue to improve. Ask for support or even ask to reschedule when possible so you don't overwhelm yourself, because your mind is the most important asset that you have. If you lose your mind, you lost everything. Let me say that again. If you lose your mind, you lost everything. Now let's move into communication, because you could go to somewhere, and you could say something to somebody and they could do business with you because they're excited to hear from you. I could go behind you, I could say the same thing. No, say differently the same thing you're saying. They could kick me out of the house. Why? Communication. Because effective communication is more than just talking. Effective communication is about connecting with people, understanding their needs, figuring out exactly how to deliver your message in a way that resonates with them. So there are three main skills that you're going to need on that. This is very, very important. That's why I titled this micro skills. Number one, don't assume everyone has the same privileges you may have. Don't. Let me say that again. Commonest mistake. You assume that everybody has the same privileges like you. No, not everybody. So there are many invisible disabilities that people have. They are curious. Then so therefore when they approach you to ask questions and stuff like that, it's because they need clarity. But if you look at them from your own prism set of eyes, it wouldn't work. So what do? Don't be afraid to ask. That's the first thing. Ask a lot of questions. People will tell you what works best for them. Just keep asking questions. For example, you can choose video conferencing, you can use Zoom, you can use whatever methodology, FaceTime, but what on iPhone. But the idea is this, you get to offer and capture their non-verbal language, their eyes, their body language, how they move, how they talk, how they fold their hands, how they're talking with you. All of those are all part of communications. And most of the time you go with the content, but content only is like 15 to 20%. It's really the unsaid things in communication that matters the most. I said something to you, I roll my eyes. That means I'm not connected to it. Or I shoot my body in the wrong way. I come in means I want to hear more. I'm listening. I lean back and fold my hands means what? I'm disinterested. But these are some of the stuff that you have to take into consideration in communications, because you don't have to talk more to make more. Well, you don't. In fact, as a beginner, the best thing you could ever do is what? Listen. When you listen more, then you are able to make more because you understand the person that is talking to you because they are talking from their own what? Their own prism of eyes. Now, I want you to also do a few things here because they say facts tell, stories sell. And the more natural way that you present yourself to the person in front of you, the more results you're going to get and the more connection you're going to have. The more robotic you are, the further distance you're going to be. The more emotionally charged you are when you speak, the more connected people are, and people tend to want to believe you when there's an emotion behind it. That's why, guys, if you're from Africa, for example, like your hand is moving, your body, your eyes, people believe you because you're very demonstrative. Even Spanish folks, they jump up and everything. People can see because they see the emotions. That's so powerful with something we call stories. Like in communication, stories. Facts tell, stories sell. I want to consider the situation. Okay? If people are disengaged, a story might help because a story will connect people together. A story that is meaningful, you don't lose them. So save the story for when it's needed. Also, think about this. Choose a story with a very clear point that's going to actually demonstrate your point. And so people can see themselves within the characters within that story. So you can't just tell any story that have no bearing to what you're talking about. Stories is powerful. Stories sell. A great storyteller become president of the country. A great storyteller become a great pastor. A great storyteller becomes a great imam. A great storyteller become a great leader. So one thing is you have to sharpen your ability to be able to tell a story, to let the people that are listening to you journey the story as if they were with you or they were characters in that story. By the way, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes skill set, it takes development, it takes a lot of trials and errors. You tell the story makes no sense, people didn't even laugh, and then until eventually you perfect that story itself. If you're sharing someone else's story, give credit to that person. So don't say a story that's not yours and claim it. And now, of course, you don't have to channel your inner, novel to constantly reflect somebody else's. You have a story to tell and you have a message to give. So stay true to your story, stay true to your message. Now, having said that, let me take you to the next step because if you really want to get good, really, really good at making money, you're dealing with human beings. Guess what you have to be good at? How to resolve conflicts, how to navigate conflicts. Because, guys, at the beginning phase of my career, and when people are conflicted and issues, I just want to walk away from it. And every time somebody says this, I just give it to them. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be stressed. What I found out is this: my business never grew because characters, were showing up in the business, and those characters were me type characters. So guess what will happen? Every time they raise a flag, I say, I don't worry, I surrender. Just take it. It's a bad move. Your business won't grow. So you need the ability to be able to what? To navigate conflicts and do what we call true conversations. So somebody accuse you of something or they challenge you on something, don't be quick. Pause before you respond. Just pause. Pause before you respond. Avoid blaming others and acknowledge that that could be a misunderstanding. So don't blame anybody. You know, try to find something that you are agreeing on first. So when somebody speaks something to you, you know what? I can see where you're coming from. If I was sitting in your position, I'd probably feel the same exact way. However, then you make a transition. So the point is this: when you agree with someone first, in a communication, they tend to want to open to you and listen to you. But when you disagree off the back, you turn them off. So when this person disagree, you disagree, there is no reconciliation to any communication. So that communication becomes irreconcilable. So you want a situation where you are able to monitor, master in a very effective way a great communications that navigates conflict in a very easy and a very good way. Did you know that praise is very powerful? If you know how to actually praise someone, you can get ahead a lot. But I'm not talking forced praise. If you're actually genuinely able to praise someone, that you look at someone and you give them compliment, you give them credit. You get, if you know what I mean, you will say it's pretty amazing, honestly speaking. So you see, there is something we call a reputation formula. This is the all micro skills that you need if you're going to go into the business place, if you're going to go to the job and win. Most people say, think about, where's the money at? Show me the money. Money is the last thing. The first thing is the activities that give birth to the money. If you perfect the activities that give birth to the money, money will find you. It's not the other way around. Money doesn't come and then you sharpen your skills. The other way around. You sharpen your skills first, then money comes. So if you want to attract money, you first have to be attractive. If you're not attractive, you're not going to attract nothing. So you work on you first. That's why micro skills like this are extremely important. Think about reputation formula. Okay? Some people say, who cares what others think? Who cares? And yes, don't let that naysayers bring you down. There's no doubt about that. However, hear me out. Things get a little bit more complex when you just go with the philosophy like, I don't care. Because your reputation heavily influences your career, your reputation influences your job, your reputation influences your business, it influences your opportunities, it influences your ability to collaborate with other people. In other words, your reputation is everything. It influences everyone because you live in a human society where unfortunately your reputation is your currency. So you can't just say, I don't care. You can't just say, I could care less what this person think. So again, naysayers will mess you up. I'm not talking about those. But I'm talking about having a reasonable level of care, knowing fully well that your reputation is your money. Having said that, okay, aim to always exceed reputation. That's why we say under promise and over deliver. It's the other way around. Most people over promise and under deliver. Do the opposite. Make complaints very productive if you're ever going to complain about anything. So instead of just complaining, return the situation with something positive, and then talk about how you can bring solutions, or you find a complaint, find a solution to it. But you never complain without coming up with a solution. And of course, make sure you share failures. Why? Because failure creates relatability. People kind of relate with you, literally when you are able to tell a failing story. It's when you look perfect that people, I can't be like him, I can't be like her. No, this person, I cannot be. So people can't connect, they can't relate, then you lose them. Now, stay away from workplace gossip. Okay, please remember, people feel a certain way. People remember how you made them feel too. So how you make them feel is what is locked in the brain. So you got to make them feel positive. Stay away from anywhere people are gossiping about other people. Don't be part of it. Don't originate it. Don't be associated with it. Build a reputation that require time and consistency to build. A reputation that says, if it comes from him, I know. I know for a fact that I'm good. If it comes from her, her word is golden to me. I know, no, this good. That's the reputation that you want to build. So as a result, okay, a bad reputation can sneak up on you, and very quickly it can steal everything you got. You don't want that. You want a very, very good reputation. If you're dealing with a damaged reputation, consider doing the following, okay? Let us say your reputation, unfortunately, is really bad. Ask for feedback from professional reputation trusted colleagues around you. Make sure that you own your mistakes. People respect when people take responsibility for their actions. Apologize when necessary, but ensure that your apology is sincere and is backed up by corrective actions. Seek therapy, coaching, educational materials if needed. Be patient to allow time for your reputation to improve. That if you ever had that problem, just stay with this formula right here and you're good. Be safe. When you say and you write and you behave and you engage, you know what happened? Your reputation is influenced and is good. So that's the reason why be very careful what you say. Because what you say is going to define eventually how people perceive of you. Now, I want to smell like a team spirit. Let me explain what I mean by that. What do you mean smell like a team spirit? People have to see that you care for others in order for you to want to hang around you. People need to know that you care. The workplace culture, you know, you are an upstander, not a bystander. You are you create a supportive environment for yourself. Let me put it to you this way: when people see that you are a team, people like that. Guys, I've been around people that literally it's like the energy was toxic. They just want it for me, for me, for me. They want to take theirs and take yours. I don't like to hang around them. I want to get them out of my space. In the same exact way, build a reputation for yourself that people want to be around you, not the other way around. So now that you know all of this stuff, okay, there are a few things I want to be prepared for your macro knowledge, so that people can understand that this is the person I want to be around. And this is it. Claim your space. What do you mean? I say claim your space. Okay. It's time for you to write precisely, okay? To write down and to own who you are, because you actually need to know who you are, and step confidently into the world with the purpose of knowing, okay, who am I? Okay? Who am I? The reason why it's because who you are matters so much that people need to know that, okay, this dude right here, it's a come through person, that I can rely on this person. But you're not going to know unless you actually do a personal self identity audit on yourself. Okay? When you do an identity audit on yourself, big things happen for you. Really, really big things. So I want you to be thinking about this, okay? The possibility that seems out of reach often, it just waits for you to take the first step. But you don't understand. That can never be me. This can never be me. I can never make $1 million in a month. I can never. Because it is out of reach to you because you have not taken the first step. Anytime you take the first step towards anything, it doesn't matter what it is, you begin to win. So it's when you're terrified, you don't never acted, you never move, you never do anything. That's when you got a problem. Think about it this way, okay? I want you to, if you're not doing this, this is going to help you a lot with this. Create a social media presence. Very simple. Choose a platform, where you target community. For example, if it's IG, it's IG. I'm on YouTube now. I was on IG earlier. Take inspiration from other profiles, that you like. Like I like this guy, I like this girl, I like the profile, I like this. Observe precisely for yourself, okay? Like how other engage on their platform, how they engage their people, what are they saying to them, what communication are they having. Keep your goal in mind though while you're doing all of this stuff, because if you're here to showcase your expertise, ensure that it shines through your content. Because you can't just come and just blah blah blah. You actually have to bring value to people. The only reason why people are turned on to you is because it means if they come around you, I'm gonna walk away with some sort of value proposition. That's it. If it's devoid of value, nobody's interested. So when you come correct, have some value to share. Apply for relevant awards in your field. That helps a lot. So whatever field you're in, so some of you are insurance and financial service, like Aspen Insurance, you should apply to make sure you receive a lot of awards, a lot of recognitions. Like a red carpet where you can actually walk on a red carpet to show and demonstrate to the world, hey, I did this, I accomplished this, I'm so excited about this, and it has to do with the workplace. You need that. If you're in business, get some awards. No, literally to demonstrate that. You see, achieving success isn't about being flawless. Let me pause for a second talking about that. If you haven't liked my video, take a minute. Just like this video right here. Let's drive up the algorithm to show that we're giving some values right here. So just take a moment, just click on like, and for me, and eventually share that. But let me go back. Achieving success isn't about being flawless. No. It's all about growing, adjusting, being there for yourself and for other people. In other words, like each skill is small but very impactful change for every skill I just talked about. There's a chance to enhance your influence, transform challenges into possibilities. It's a moment where you embrace the process, you stay curious, and you let the skills propel you towards the future by simply doing exactly what you need to do to keep improving on a daily basis. You do that, my folks, you already you're good to go. Having said that, okay, some things I would like for you guys to consider doing that will help you a lot. You could try some of this stuff. Get comfortable talking about yourself. Yes, craft a pitch detailing exactly who you are, your occupation, your objective. You could set that up. You could ask ChatGPT to write it for you based on what it knows on you. Compress that to like a 2 minutes. So if you met someone in 2 minutes, you could describe yourself for who you are. Skip the basic stuff like I'm looking for new opportunities and skip all of those things. If you can have a 2 minute story of your life, of yourself, and you can articulate your 2 minute story just quickly, just fast, when you meet someone, shake their hands, you will connect, you turn a stranger to a friend, which means money is going to be looking for you every day. Most people don't have any of these things in place. Everything I'm talking about right now, most people just wing life. They don't even talk about this stuff. People that talk about this, people that have mentors coaching them, they pay money for it, but then they come across different from everybody else. So put together a very quickly 2 minute story of yourself. And if you could do that, by the way, it comprises exactly who you are, your occupation, your objectives, literally, and make sure it could be done in 2 minutes. Secondly, count the number of times you thank people each day. Actually, write it down. Every time somebody came through your space, how many times did you thank them? So, and then consider reaching out to people to express words of gratitude to them. Pick up the phone call. By the way, I just want to call you to say thank you. You did this and this. I appreciate you. Thank you for calling to check on me. I really appreciate that. When you go on gratitude and even call people just to thank them, to say you're grateful, guess what happens? You open up the heavens for more blessings coming your way. Because gratitude elevates your emotions. Gratitude puts you in a very special place. Gratitude causes you and it causes everybody around you to respond favorably to you. So when your kids say, thank you, dad, thank you, mom, thank you for this, I love you, what do you do? You want to do more for them. You do. The same way in our universe. When you thank everybody for even the littlest thing, the universe opens up more for you. So you do gratitude, apparently. Okay? You have a 2 minute story for who you are. The third one is hello. Okay, good. Then you count on. I'm on live. I'll be done very shortly. Okay. No, so you count the number of times you thank people each day, like I just mentioned to you guys. And last but not the least, okay, to learn more about the power of teamwork, you could explore the Wolf Park, literally, to learn more how powerful when you decide to go on a teamwork. Because when you go on a teamwork, now your reputation goes before you because it's not just you now. You have other microphone, other people talking about you. So you could talk by yourself, one, but if you have many other people talking about you, guess what happened? You're able to project your accomplishment personalities way beyond and put you in a very strategic position. So I hope this brings a lot of value with you guys today. It's 33 minutes strong. And this is just breaking down the micro skills that you need to go from point A to point B that will allow you to fundamentally increase your income because knowing fully well, your money comes not from outside, your money comes from within. Let me say that again. Your money comes from within. So anyone that spend time on personal development, sharpening their brain, becoming a better person, like the skill that you need to grow, to expand, to get good in life, anyone that takes that personal growth more importantly than anything else, they are the one that ends up winning and leading everybody else. That's the reason why, as a man thinketh, so shall it be. And that's the reason why we also say, by the way, man in this case, man, woman, the idea is your thoughts and the control of your thoughts. And that's the reason also why we said, whoever is going to go to the next level is going to have to be prepared to anticipate what it takes to get to the next level. So as you listen to me today, make sure that you go back and rewatch this video. This is a fairly long video, 34 minutes or so live. Go back, rewatch this, take notes, and figure out what skill set you need to sharpen upon: money making skill set, relationship skill set, spiritual growth skill set, economic skill set, whatever it is. Figure a skill set that you're going to develop and just don't take 10 or 20 or 30 different activities. Just three simple activities that you're going to put in place that's going to allow you an opportunity to self-improve. So again, thank you for joining me today. You're going to see more and more of my content on YouTube. Share this, invite everybody, to watch this. Let's continue to have a personal growth to make the world a better place. Don't forget to like the video, to share the video, and I thank you guys for being with me today. So walk like it's up to you on the word and pray like it's up to God. This is Dr. Kehinde Thomas. Catch you with you guys soon. Bye now.